Hello everyone, this is Ron with the 7th part of my full playthrough of the original Silent Hill for PlayStation. If you'll recall, last episode I just watched the video, and I now have to go back down and see and finish exploring the area that I found the video in. And if you haven't been paying too close attention to to some of the previous episodes, due to mostly just being going around. This is the episode you want to make sure you pay attention to, because in this episode, a lot of plot happens. In fact, most of the episode is me going from cutscene to cutscene, and a lot of things start to get introduced, and some things clear up, but as a result, it opens up more mysteries as to what is going on. But we do also get to see some new areas in this episode. So right now, I am just heading back down to the basement storeroom, to the area where I found the video, to just finish exploring the area in which I did find it. We have this really, really ominous music. It's very ominous. I see there is no map available now. If you recall, these couple rooms, I do believe I did go and explore last episode, but I'm just making sure I am thorough and retracing my steps. This room where that one enemy was covered by the silhouette, and almost attacked me.
What's
There's a
this?
cutscene here.
Looks like someone's been here.
And that's a key back to an area on the first floor. And that picture is of the girl named Alessa. And she is someone who is important to the plot. If you've been paying attention, she's shown up before. But that pretty much rounds up this area. I think I double checked just to make sure. But then I head back out. Wait, now there's this one thing down here. Yeah, see, that's odd. Like, and all these locks being jammed, like I always found it to be kind of weird because it always seems to imply that there's an area beyond that, but there really isn't. It's just a wall with some text that you can read, basically. But basically, I'm gonna go open the last major locked door in the hospital, which is just up on the first floor, and then it's a lot of cutscenes after that point. And rather than going up the stairs, I hit up the elevator just because kind of at this point that's what I'm using to get around in this alternate version of the hospital here. Ooh, just ran right into that. Unlock it, go in, and... Nope. CG. See, yet another person. And that is a weird looking smile.
Finally, someone else who's okay.
And this nurse,
Who are you?
My name's Lisa,
Lisa
Garland.
Garland.
What's yours?
Fans of the series may know who that is.
Harry Mason.
This is
Harry,
kind of
tell me
just
what's
their introduction,
happening.
mostly.
is everybody?
Where's everybody? What's going on? Although, interestingly
I
enough,
must have gotten knocked out.
at no point does either one of
When I
them
came to,
seem to
everyone was
mention,
gone.
or seem to even really notice, that they're in a completely messed up version of things, and it's
So
all
you
covered
don't
in
know
rust and
anything
blood.
either.
Don't know why, but that just doesn't happen here.
I just don't get it. It's like this is all some kind of bad dream.
Yeah, a living nightmare.
Let me ask you, have you seen a little girl around here? Short, black hair, 7 years old?
A 7-year-old girl. What, she's your daughter?
Yes.
A 7-year-old girl. I can't say that I have. I was unconscious all this time.
Despite the fact that she was clearly hiding under a table.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Do you know anything about all that weird stuff in the basement?
No? Why? Is there something down there?
You don't know? Don't you work here?
We're under strict orders never to enter the basement storeroom. So I really don't know. What did you say was down there?
Well, it's...
And then, oh, air raid sirens.
Damn! My head.
What's wrong? Harry? Harry, let me help you. Harry?
Was I
And he
dreaming?
wakes up and he's here.
You were too late.
Now, I don't want to necessarily
It's you.
talk through all of this, but this is really at this point where
Dahlia Gillespie.
you're just genuinely like you have no way to know
Tell
what's
me
really
everything
going
you
on,
know.
because at
What's
this
going
point,
on?
Harry has
Darkness.
woken up
The town
in
is
the
being
other world,
devoured
woken
by
back up in the regular world, woken up in the other world, and woken back up in
Strength
the
must overcome
regular world again,
petty
and it's going to get even more confusing
desire.
shortly
Childish
here.
sleep talk. I knew this.
But right now, this is just Dahlia Gillespie being crazy,
What
talking
are you
cryptic
talking
and
about? I don't understand a word of this.
basically telling Harry to fight evil.
Believe the evidence of your eyes. The other church in this town, that is your destination. This is beyond my abilities. Only you can stop it now.
Look at that fist.
Have you not seen the crest marked on the ground all over town?
So that's what I saw in the schoolyard. What does it mean?
It is the mark of Samael. Don't let it be completed.
Hey,
And then
wait!
she just takes off, and Harry, of course, doesn't immediately chase her. And despite the fact that he's not sure whether this is real or not, clearly has the hammer that he got in the other world. But back in this hospital, gotta head out and go to the antique shop to use that key that I just got. here I am back in the town itself. I gotta wander for a little bit. Make sure I can find my way to the antique shop. Now, initially, I'm a little bit confused. I'm actually scanning the map, trying to see if I can actually point out where it says antique shop, because you can see like post office and police and town center. The little smaller ones that you can't read the text. It's impossible. But at this point, there's actually nothing on my map, and I'm thoroughly confused. I don't quite know where the antique shop is, and I'm trying to find it. And then we got this really strange music kicking in. But I decided to head this way. I checked my map again just to make sure I'm heading in A direction. At this point, I'm kind of expecting to hit, destroyed road or something, preventing me from going forward. I decided, well, I'll take a look at the key anyway. It says Greed Lion on it. Now, at this point, I don't think I realized it quite yet, but now the antique shop is marked on my map. I do wind up heading that way. I don't notice it till a little bit later, though. And it's right around here where I actually realized that the antique shop is marked on my map and head that way. And then I just try to see about the town center just because it's so big and prominent. And of course clearly labeled to see if there's any way I can go in there. Now, there are also some other pink buildings, and that one labeled police I was able to go in. I have not tried going in the post office or the other one that's pink. I think they're enterable, but at this point I'm not going to worry too much about trying to get into them. But I would do where I am, and I've got plenty of various items and things like that. And now we have really ominous music. It's a very big deal that I'm going in here. So turn on my flashlight. Now here it takes me a little bit to actually figure out what I'm supposed to do. Especially since at first it hones in on this clock. But there's nothing going on with that clock. It's just, that's a clock. But make sure I save my game. And in here there's just basically a bunch of junk. This place is kind of defunct at this point. I don't notice the marks on the wall behind the one dresser for a little bit. I'm just trying to look and see what exactly I'm supposed to be doing here. And I check out the clock again. And then I finally notice that, oh geez, hey look, I can push this thing. I push it, and I find this hole.
What's this?
And then look who it is.
Harry!
It's Sybil,
Sybil?
who has been very absent for a while.
I'm glad you're okay.
What you been up to, Sybil?
I shouldn't have left you. Things are worse than I thought. It's nuts.
What are you doing here? I thought you left town.
I saw you go in here, so I followed you.
No actual mention of
I
what
couldn't
she's
get
been
out.
doing in between when
All the
we
roads
last
out
saw
of
her
town
in the
are blocked.
cafe and now.
Cars have completely stopped running. The phones and radios are still out too.
What about my daughter? Did you see her?
Still worried about his daughter.
I did see a girl.
Was it Cheryl?
I only caught a glimpse of her through the fog. I went after her, but she vanished. I don't know about your daughter, but
And you just let her go? Where was it?
Finally showing some real
on
concern.
Bachman Road. She was heading towards the lake. Now don't get excited. It wasn't like she ran off exactly. There was no place for her to go. The road has been obliterated.
What? So then Cheryl...
It was like she was walking on thin air. What about you?
I don't know if you noticed this, but it looks like Harry's left arm is
Yeah, I met this bizarre
weirdly large, and his hand is
woman.
just
Her
a
name's
big
Dahlia
block.
Gillespie. Do you know her?
But that could just be me, or possibly
Dahlia
the angle,
Gillespie.
and also the fact that this is
No.
a PS1 game.
And?
She said something about the town being devoured by darkness. Gibberish like that. Any idea what it means?
Oh, this next part's great.
Darkness devouring the town. Must be
Oh,
on drugs.
must be on drugs.
They sell them to the tourists. The Force still can't figure out who's behind it. None of our leads have panned out,
Kind of gives you an idea of why Sybil's there.
and the investigation is stalled.
But
What could drug
I did
trafficking have to do
I
with all
really kind
this?
of like how they establish that there could be
I really don't
some
know.
sort of explanation
Maybe that's
that
the darkness she was
drugs are
talking
getting
about.
to everybody.
That's all I can think of.
I might not want to spoil anything in regards to that, but it's at least nice to see that even with the basics of the story, it's like actually this could
Just
all just
discovered
be a load of crap. You could just be
Maybe
totally
there's something back
wasted.
there.
Let's have a look.
Wait. We don't know what's back there. I'd better check it out first.
I'm a cop. I should go.
No, I'm going.
All right.
Not really offering much of a fight out of your Sybil.
I'll cover you from here. Be careful. If anything looks fishy, get back here on the double.
Okay. Sybil,
Oh man, look at his face.
Yeah?
do you know anything about... well, like some other world? It's like some kind of bad dream.
What are you talking about?
I'm not quite
Yeah,
sure.
that's it, Harry. Freak out the only
I
other
tried to make
person you've
sense
met
of
that
it, but
actually
then my
wants to
mind
help
goes
you.
blank. Everything's dark there, and I hear sirens in the distance. I met this nurse.
Like,
Lisa.
I feel like at this point there'd just be like a little like thought
It's
bubble
like
above,
I was
well, above
there,
Sybil's head, like
not really.
crazy guy, stay away. Or
It's
just
all
like
a
just like
blur,
crazy.
Like some kind of hallucination, you know?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Harry.
Oh.
He's like, oh damn. You don't?
I was just wondering. Never mind.
Just wondering, hey, you crazy too? Oh, you're not? Oh, damn, never mind.
You're tired.
Oh, there's Sybil's face. Oh man, hers isn't any better. But Harry heads into the hole. And there's a hallway that he needs to lock down. And in here, it's this place.
What's this? Some kind of altar. Never seen anything like this before. Maybe this is the other church.
Maybe, Harry. Maybe. I was just checking to see if I can use the floor off at this point. 'Cause I know it's all tied in with that stuff. So I figured maybe something to do with that chalice, but doesn't really look like it. But however, here on the wall is an axe. Yep, I now have an axe. Time to mess around with that some. I do mess around with it. Now the axe itself, actually I believe deals less damage than a hammer, but because it's only one-handed, Harry can move and swing with it if needed. I can't remember off the top of my head if the axe or the hammer is necessarily the better weapon. I mean, I would assume the axe is, but you never know. Yeah, but then Harry goes to leave, and then that thing lights on fire. He's like, "Oh my god, what's going on?"
Harry? Are you
At this
okay?
point, Sybil's wondering what's going on herself, so
Harry?
doesn't hear anything from Harry, and decides, "Well, I'm gonna go and investigate because she's Sybil Bennett."
Harry?
Goes in there, no Harry. But meanwhile, Harry is now woken up back in the room with Lisa.
Harry.
Lisa? Then I'm in the hospital?
You were having a bad dream.
And I think Lisa was just sitting there watching him sleep.
Hey,
Don't know why,
you don't look
but
too
I guess
good.
apparently that's
you
what
okay?
was happening.
I'm fine. Nothing you need to worry about.
Well, if you're sure. Lisa, do you know a woman named Dahlia Gillespie?
Oh yeah, that crazy Gillespie lady. She's kind of famous around here. She never sees anybody, so I don't know that much about her. But I heard her kid died in a fire, and supposedly she's been crazy ever since.
Well, she says the town is being devoured by the darkness.
Yeah, Harry, really helping your credibility
Do you
here.
have any idea what she's talking about?
You sound crazy.
Devoured by
You openly admit to a crazy person telling you something and believing it. No, Harry, you're not crazy.
Before this place was turned into a resort, the townspeople here were on the quiet
No,
side.
Lisa just kind of rolls with it. It's okay with her, apparently.
Everybody followed some kind of queer religion. Weird occult stuff. Black magic, that kind of thing. As young people moved away, the people figured they'd been summoned by the gods. Evidently, things like that used to happen around here all the time.
No, that phrase is weird
Before
because
the
it's
resort,
like,
there really wasn't
it's
anything
like,
else
so
around here.
people move away all the time, or random gods snatch them.
Then a lot of new people came in and everybody clammed up about it.
A cult.
Last time I heard anything about it was, gosh, years ago. When several people connected with developing the town died in accidents. People said it was a curse. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm rambling.
Oh, okay. You didn't really seem to be rambling. You were having a nice calm... You were calmly explaining some backstory that may or may not be important, but whatever. But then,
Was that another dream?
Harry wakes up in this place.
Did I pass out again?
And he just stops having voice for some reason. This is when he kind of openly admits that he doesn't really know what could be fake and what isn't. He's like, well, I could just be lying unconscious somewhere. Who knows? But Harry, being Harry, decides to resolutely soldier on. Now, at this point, we're a little bit over 25 minutes in, and there's been a lot of plot thrown at us. But basically, this cult is trying to do this big evil thing with the town, and Harry's got to stop it. And then he's also not sure what's real, what's fake, whether things are just a dream or not, whether drugs are involved. At this point, you at least have some kind of reveal about like this conflictive thing going on, and a little bit about what's behind it. It's at this point that the game is really kind of put itself into high gear, and also this part is the first time in the game where you get to see the town itself, the actual, I guess, overworld. It's kind of weird to say that in this game, I guess that's what it would be. But the actual town exterior in the other world, the alternate version of it. Now, at first, I think I have to go down to the hospital because that's circled. And actually, what I need to get to is the town center, which I wander around out here getting attacked by enemies, trying to find a way into that. It takes me a bit. And one interesting tidbit about this section here, when you're outside in this alternate version of the town, was actually several interesting things. But one thing is when your light is on, it actually attracts more enemies, and there are more enemies around here. But it's a bit of a pain because without your light on, you can't look at the map. So if you want to avoid enemies, you have to turn your light off. But if you want to be able to tell where you're going clearly, you have to keep your light on. It's actually kind of interesting, but if you're able to move around, you can avoid the enemies fairly well. Another neat thing is, and I don't know if this is just because the developers were maybe not thinking things through all the way or whatever, but some of the shops and stuff are just identical from the regular world. There's no change, no rust or blood or anything, which is completely normal. And it actually helps a little bit in the overall presentation of it, because it really just kind of cements the image that this is just a town or an alternate version of the town. And also gives a little bit of credence to the idea that the town is being devoured by darkness, like maybe aspects of the town are now starting to show up in this other world, things like that. Like I said, I don't know if it's an intentional thing or if it's just developers, hey, why go through making all these new assets, because they're not going to be out here very long typically. But it does help very much with the atmosphere and just what's going on in the plot at the time. But as you can see, I'm trying to wander around, find my way to where I need to go. It takes me a bit, and it's not easy because I have 3 enemies right on my tail. And it's confusing because it seems sometimes I need to go to that parking area there. I believe I just wander around for a while, and eventually it points me in the right direction. No, I'm not sure. I don't think it points me in the direction. I think I literally stumble across where I need to go. because the actual area in this section in which you can wander around is actually pretty small. So this is very tense because there's 3 enemies right on my tail, and I don't know where I need to go. And I don't want them attacking me because I don't want them to damage me. And I do seriously consider just breaking up my weapons and taking them down, but I don't want to waste the ammo because in these outside areas, it's not necessary. But there's the hole that I need to go through. Now I'm inside the Silent Hill Town Center. I guess this would technically be considered the alternate version of it. However, you never get to go in the regular version of it, so it's the town center that happens to be in the alternate dimension, I guess, or whatever, but it's the only town center you ever actually go into and explore in any length. Well, here's a bunch of TV screens. Nothing unusual, no. Having a floor made of grate is just completely usual to Harry, but... So, clearly I need to head up these escalators, but I want to make sure I explore a little bit, but I gotta get a little bit too close, and then these TVs turn on. That is apparently some very poorly CG of Cheryl.
Cheryl!
The random symbols and things like that. But I'm gonna explore a little bit. Can't really get anywhere. And I eventually decide it's time to head up the escalator. And that is pretty much where I wrap this up. Shortly after I get up here, there's a save point that I find. Now see up here, my radio is going off indicating possibly an enemy. But it's actually kind of guiding me to where I need to go, because as I get closer to the door I need to go through, it gets louder. Kind of handy. But I go in here, there's a save point on the other side, you know. Go in here, explore this room a bit. This is actually a jewelry shop. It looks like, but gonna be ending this episode in here and picking up next time with either finishing this up and moving on, seeing where this goes. It's heading towards the later part of the game. So once again, thank you very much for watching. See all of you in episode 8, which will be up in a couple days. And of course, as usual, if you liked the video, like it, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see all of you next time.